Alright, welcome to the video.
Welcome to the video that we... Why do I keep starting like that? Welcome to the video, everyone. Today we are doing the Christmas movie bracket. It's gonna be a great one. I sadly couldn't fit all of the Christmas movies that are like big, but I did the ones that I'm the most familiar with, and also my guest today, which I'll be announcing soon. But this is the candy lineup, if you will, today. And sorry, Frosty the Snowman. He definitely could have made the cut, but it's so awful that it's not gonna happen. So you won't be seeing any of him.
There was a lot of cans in that button nose.
Yeah. Boink, badink, boink, bink. And with an introduction of our guest, that is Jay Smithers. He's back, and we are kicking off my festive theme for the next we're doing Christmas themed videos for the rest of the month, so deal with it.
If you didn't like Christmas before, well, you're probably still not gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably would have unsubscribed by now. Here is the bracket, and as you can see here, it's definitely gonna be a close one. I feel like I know who's gonna win it, but I'm not sure. I'm not doing any guesses. This was randomly. It was a random seed. How I placed them. So, yeah. Jay Smithers, is there anything you'd like to say before we begin?
I agree. There's one in particular that I think will win it for me, but I also could see some surprises happening along the way.
Yeah.
Please join us as we decide what the greatest Christmas movie of all time is. Is it How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or is it How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Or
that's pretty much every option on here.
Don't forget the Grinch.
And Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Let's continue.
Up, Home Alone versus Santa Claus. I'd like to start off the bracket with a banger, but what a piece of crap this first matchup is. I mean, Santa Claus is a good Christmas movie, but I'm gonna be honest, it just barely makes the cut for me. Do you have anything to say here? Because I think we both know the direction it's heading.
I actually had never seen the Santa Claus before this year. I haven't even finished it yet, but based on what I've seen, I do really like it. I like how Tim Allen's just kind of like a troll through the whole thing. But I mean, it's up against Home Alone. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a pretty good Christmas movie. I wish it was more Christmas themed, but you can't win them all. But like when it's compared against Home Alone, it's like, let's move on and get to the real nitty and gritty.
Exactly.
'Tis the season to win it.
That was a perfect segue into the next matchup because, wow, talk about nitty gritty.
Yeah, so as you can see here, you're noticing a lot of Grinches here, and we'll tell you which one it means once we get there. So right now we have Elf versus How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the live-action version with Jim Carrey, right? Maybe?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
I think it might be Kim Jerry, but you got the point.
I think it's actually Jim Carrey. Yeah, so I don't. You talk first because I think this is obvious for me personally.
Oh boy, I've said a lot of controversial things on your channel before. Somehow you keep having me back. This one might get you banned from YouTube. I hate Elf.
No.
And I know that I'm probably the only human on Earth who actually feels that way. I find Will Ferrell to be mind-blowingly annoying, and I just find the whole movie really annoying and not that, like, heartwarming at all. And I know I sound so evil saying that, but it sickens me.
For a season trying to bring joy and happiness, you sure put that in a deep, deep hole there. I'm gonna have to try to lift this back up. So to continue about the bracket, who wins this matchup for you? If you absolutely hate Elf.
So, to be honest, I have very mixed feelings about the live-action Grinch too, and those mixed feelings lean towards hatred as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
In this specific situation, I'm gonna go with the live-action Grinch just because Will Ferrell's not in it.
Actually, he's the third Who that goes, who ate my Who's It?
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah, that doesn't help your case. For me, I personally think how the Grinch Stole Christmas is like, I feel like the fact that it's so known and like it's a thing bothers me. It feels like think about it, if the Grinch didn't exist and this was an original movie and this was the first Grinch we've ever seen, it would do awful.
Yes.
It feels like you're scrolling through a streaming service and you're at the bottom of it and you just, I'll watch it. And it's exactly what you think it is. A piece of,
that's actually a really good way of putting it.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say, I think there's a lot of people, I think Elf is overrated. That matchup's going to be coming soon, but I still think Elf wins this one by a pretty huge meter, but, we'll get to Elf once it's about to die. Moving on next, we have the battle of the awful movies. We have A Christmas Story versus Christmas Chronicles. When I look at this, I think right away, gosh, these both movies have negatively affected my opinion on this season. And, it's not a hate like yours where I have mixed feelings and they're leaning towards hate. I watched that movie and I'm just mad. And, but like, if one had to win, even though maybe A Christmas Story is a more funnier and better movie, I can agree to that. But A Christmas Story does not feel like a Christmas movie, and the vibe that it gives throughout the movie is very uncomfortable. And I want to be cozy watching a Christmas movie, and I can't handle that. So see ya. You're not on my bracket.
Wait, so just to clarify, which one did you pick?
Christmas Chronicles, not because it's good, because the other one's worse.
I'm glad I finally found someone else who feels that way about A Christmas Story, because I do not get the hype around that movie. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it has a very uncomfortable, like the whole dad with the leg lamp thing, like what the heck?
It seems like that movie could have been, like, I don't get why it's called, like, the name of a movie called A Christmas Story, you'd really think this is very heavily Christmas themed, and it isn't, and it's like, this movie could be the same if it was just based in winter. Like, why is this a Christmas story? Just because you want the BB gun?
Yeah, like, the entire plot of a little boy wanting a BB gun does not make for a very interesting watch.
Yeah, and also just like the culture with like the bullies beating them up and like the soap, like it's not a joyful movie. And maybe you need to open your eyes up and not everything's joyful. Not around Christmas.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's very odd and just very off-putting. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pick it in this matchup because I've never even heard of the Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, the Christmas Chronicles gives you bowel syndrome. Moving on, We
Did
have
they finally make a fourth Chronicles of Narnia?
next we have Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the special, the first one, and if you ask me, the best one.
Agreed.
Versus a donut. A Christmas Carol. And since there's so many versions in this world, I decided to just generally do it, because I feel like not one version's better than the other. I kind of have a general opinion on the story. Um, you could. I want to hear you for once. Jeez, talk.
Yeah. So this is oh boy, this is actually a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Here are my thoughts on A Christmas Carol. And I'm speaking about like all of them in general because, like you said, it's just kind of the same story. I love A Christmas Carol. I love the book. I love the movies. I love everything about it. Although I have not seen the Jim Carrey animated one, I've seen like enough of them to be able to like make a decision here, and it's tough because A Christmas Carol is such like, in my opinion, I know you might not feel this way. That's one of those ones I have to watch every Christmas. And with like, it's so iconic with like the Scrooge, Tiny Tim, like all the iconic characters. But with all that being said, the original like 20-minute Grinch is probably my favorite animated work of all time. Like, I could literally watch that every single day. I think it's perfect. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, because I'll talk more about it later, but it's just like, it brings me such happiness watching it.
You know, that was a lot in one jam-packed session there, and you know, I couldn't agree less. No, I'm joking. First I'm gonna talk about Christmas Carol. You know, I wouldn't say it's a must-watch for me. I definitely don't dislike it. My kind of problem is that I think it disappointed me, and it still does today, because you start watching it. In the beginning, it's great. You really love it. You love the culture, everything. And then it goes downhill once he actually starts doing like the ghost of present, past, and future. To me, it's not as good as the other ones and really negatively affects the whole movie. And you know, that's a shame. And I feel like kind of what you're saying, like one of the Grinch Stole Christmas is just perfect and just an amazing animation. And you know, I think it's just a clear winner here for me.
Yeah, it's definitely not as, I mean, it's closer for me, but I'm going with the Grinch. Also, like, random side note, the chemistry between the Grinch and his dog is, like, amazing.
I wouldn't say chemistry, I'd more say, like, abuse, but sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's your chemistry with other humans or dogs, but, I don't think that's what the rest of the world would call it. But, you know, that's fine, it's whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
All right. He has a speech impediment. Next up, we have Home Alone 2, Austin, New York, versus the Polar Express. I think I'll start her off here, and I'd like to say that we're probably going to have to pick it up pace here, so I'm going to make this nice and short and sweet. I love the... What? Okay, I'll say I love the Polar Express. I don't know if that's truly accurate, but it's close to love. I think it's a great movie. Tom Hanks being riddled throughout the whole thing is quite a pleasure. You know, I've got some problems with it, but, you know, What?
I was just going to say I love me some Tom Hanks.
Oh, good. I mean, it's a great movie. I want to watch it every year, but I'm a sucker for that Home Alone 2. And, this could be a whole debate for another video, but if you asked me, I think I might like Home Alone 2 more than the first. I mean, that might be a daring thing to say, but, I said it. And, but long story short, Home Alone 2 is going to have to put this one in the onion bag.
Okay, I respect it. So this is a tough one for me. Oh gosh, now my voice is gonna give out.
That's alright.
I love the Polar Express, and it's a childhood staple for me. However, I only love it until they get to the North Pole, and once the train ride there is over, it just instantly, I don't care anymore. And I really don't think that's what they were going for, but the way they made the elves, act and look is so, disturbing. And I don't know, there's just something about the train ride that totally makes the movie for me. But I do love it. But you have Home Alone 2. I recently rewatched Home Alone and Home Alone 2 the other week, and I must say that I would give Home Alone 1 the edge, but Home Alone 2 is one of the best sequels I've ever seen. A very good movie. And with all this rambling being said, if I have to make a decision, I'm gonna go with Home Alone 2, because the Polar Express does have that one kind of major flaw for me.
I agree. I also think that I don't like any of the children. And and those are the main characters. I mean, Tom Hanks really carries the whole film, actually making the film and characters in the film. But I think the culture is great, so that's why you got to watch it. But I think they lost me when they had that song at the back of the train. I mean, I get it was trying to be emotional and cool, but that was straight cans. Moving on. We have Claus versus Arthur's Christmas.
The Cancer Express.
Yeah, Cancer Express, exactly. For this one, this one's tough. I'm gonna be honest. I know Klaus has been out for it's been 2 years almost, close to be 2 years, if not already. And I just recently watched it for the first time, maybe 2 weeks ago. So it was a new experience for me, and I really loved it. It was a great film. I love it. But I've been watching Arthur Christmas for some time, and I feel like I have a better opinion on it because I've watched it more than once. But I think Arthur Christmas is a great movie to watch because it's funny, it's great, it's got great culture. I love kind of the story and the characters. But it's that humor where it's awful, but it gets you sometimes. It's like monsters versus aliens. It's really not great humor, but it gets you in a couple of instances. So that's good, but Claus to me had the humor, and I loved the animation style, and it had that great story. So for me, Klaus is gonna have to take this one home like an onion on a winter day.
Nice. I'm gonna be a lot more boring here, and I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, what a hero!
Which is really disappointing because both of them look good. So I'm definitely watching Klaus. So all I can really go off of is based on what I've seen of trailers and imagery for it, and based on that, I'm gonna go Klaus. But yeah, I'm pretty useless there.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't be the first time you're useless. Moving on, I think we both agree that this next matchup should be nice, short and sweet, because one of these movies does not deserve the respect of even being mentioned. Rudolph wins this one.
Yeah.
By a landslide. It's one of those things where you didn't even know the other person existed because that's how quickly and it all happened.
Rudolph is another one of those perfect ones.
I 100% agree. I can't wait to have some tough faces because, it's amazing.
It really is.
Next, you've seen Christmas with the Cranks, right?
I have.
See, this is going to be interesting because I think this is a pretty good movie, but I know you don't feel the same. For me, the biggest problem with it is, I think it's a great movie. It's really funny. I'm definitely watching it every year. It's always going to make the cut, but a lot of parts are very corny, and you're like,
Let's continue.
So that's an issue. But the Grinch, on the other hand, this is the one that was recently made by Illumination. There's a lot of things in it. I wouldn't say it's like cringy, but it's like, I know you haven't seen it, so I don't want to really spoil anything. But the direction they went with Cindy Lou Who, if I could sum it up very quickly, I'd say Cindy Boo Hoo. I didn't like it. So
Can't see Lou.
and I'm having a troubled memory remembering this movie well. So I'm just gonna be honest and go Christmas with the Cranks. But don't get me wrong. I think the Grinch is really great, and I want to watch it. I can't wait. I'm twiddling my thumbs, if you will. Josh, let's hear what you have to say for once.
Christmas with the Cranks. So, I'm not a fan of. There are exceptions, but as a general rule of thumb, I am not a big fan of non-animated comedies. I think that most modern comedies are not very funny at all. And I feel like Christmas with the Cranks kind of falls into that category. However, it's not awful. It's better than A Christmas Story. It's better than Elf. It's not a bad movie. It doesn't really do it for me. With that being said, I haven't seen the new Grinch, but it looks entertaining, but not really great. Especially when it has to live up to the legacy of the original Grinch, which is the best thing ever.
Honestly, that's a great way to describe it, and you haven't even seen it.
Oh, thank you. So I don't even have to see it now, right?
No, I think you should watch the Grinch shave his butt.
Oh.
No.
Dr. Seuss is how the Grinch shaves his butt.
And then Stole Christmas.
So when I first saw this mashup, I was gonna pick the Grinch, but now that I've talked things through, I've convinced myself to pick Christmas with the Cranks.
See, that's what you love. You think something, and then when you really think about it verbally, because hopefully the people care.
Yeah. I thought I didn't want to be. No, I thought I wanted to be in this video, and you started saying the intro, and I was like, oh gosh, I was wrong there.
Just to be clear, you guys, I'm going to put a reminder in the beginning of the video, but if you guys want to do this bracket yourself, click the link in the description where you can download it and do it for yourself. And if you can figure out a way how to send it to me, or you can just use me for bracket entertainment, I don't really care. But so if you want to do that, click the link. Continuing on, we are in the semifinals. I'm not gonna lie, this is I would say that was one of the more painful beginning rounds, because honestly, I wouldn't say there's one or two movies that I absolutely hate. So everything else I really loved, and they mean so much, and I have so many memories attached. So this has been a painful bracket to let people go. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I do agree. Also, I'd like to correct you. This is the quarterfinals.
There's a hole, you can go die in it.
I'm on my way.
I believe we have the same matchup here for the first one of the quarterfinals. Thank you for correcting me.
That's what I do.
Home Alone versus Elf, and you'd think this is a final. This is a battle that's gone down for ages. It's been a debate. And today we're going to give our opinion on the matter. I think we already know where. Oh wait, no, you chose How a Grinch Stole Christmas live action.
I did.
To me, this is clear. I feel like if you love Home Alone, I feel like no one loves them equally. Even though I think they're both great movies. This debate, I've already done it in my head, and Home Alone's gonna win it for me. You take it away, Josh.
This is gonna be pretty anticlimactic. I've got Home Alone versus the Grinch. Home Alone wins.
Good. I mean, people don't want to hear you talk that long. I mean, talk about easy ones coming up here.
That was probably the easiest decision I've made since I was like 3.
You know what? We don't even need to say anything. There's visuals on the screen. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 versus Klaus. I think you should start. I need to think.
Oh, I see what you did. You skipped over to the other side. I have the same matchup. For me, it's also going to be a little anticlimactic because I haven't seen Klaus. But I can kill a little time by talking about how good Home Alone 2 is. I love how they stayed very true to the vibe of the first one, but mixed it up just enough to be original. I like how it takes place in New York. I love, like, the toy store. I actually kind of wish the end burglary scene happened in the toy store. I thought that would have been really fun. But the 2 burglars, the wet or sticky bandits in this one, I mean, they're classic. You can't not like them. Kevin, can't not like him. It's just
the mother. The mother. You can't not. I mean, you can't like her.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the parents. I just hate all of his siblings.
Really? I mean, the mother blames everything on everyone else.
That is true.
The dad, to me, is fine.
Yeah,
I think
he's a
great.
bit useless, but...
I mean, look at him. He was gonna be useless the minute he was born.
Exactly.
So, does that mean Home Alone 2 is gonna win that for you?
Yes.
You know, if we could do this next year, I think I'd have a more accurate battle here, but I'm gonna have to give it to Home Alone 2. I think it would win no matter what, but since I've only watched Klaus once, I can't put it against a movie I've seen every single year that I've been alive. Wait, Josh, when I was talking about a matchup that we didn't even need to talk about, I was doing the Christmas Chronicles versus the animated The Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
We didn't even need to. We did it so quickly. Let's just say, long story short, actually it was pretty short. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated version, got into the semifinals.
Yeah, if anything, we just made a short story long.
That's actually 100% true. Next, we both have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus Christmas with the Cranks. We both said our opinions on Christmas with the Cranks, and you know, I haven't even said much about Rudolph, and I still don't think we need to. It's that good. To me, this is pretty easy, even though I love Christmas with the Cranks. Rudolph really just creams everyone in this battle. It was just a nice, quick kill. Anything you gotta say?
Yeah, the poor Cranks never really had a chance. Rudolph is so just, like, heartwarming and endearing and just... Talk about a high-quality, like, thing. Oh, also the Abominable Snowman is just, like, top of the game.
Oh, yeah, he's my school, like, profile picture.
That's awesome.
Don't act like you care.
Alright, I'll stop acting.
Alright, the semifinals. I believe we have the same semifinal on the left. Well, in general, actually, we both came. I feel like we had the pretty similar opinions here, but I feel we're gonna split around here. Home Alone versus How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I know the answer to this one. But I want to hear from you.
Oh gosh, this is interesting that we have the same top four. I think that's pretty spot on. I do think we're gonna differ at some point before this is over. This matchup is.
I definitely don't think we're gonna have the same winner.
Yeah, I agree. This matchup is hard for me because I don't really find a flaw in either of them. I think they both perfectly accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. With that being said, it's hard to compare them because The Grinch is only 20 minutes long. But it only takes 20 minutes to just be a masterpiece. And I know I have to make a decision, and I can't stress enough, whichever one I don't choose is still one of the greatest movies, like, ever. But my decision is going to be the original Grinch, and the deciding factor for me was that I just love animation so much, and I'm always gonna, be biased towards animation over non-animation, if that makes sense.
I 100% respect that decision. I think for me, what's gonna make The Grinch fall short for me is I absolutely love Dr. Seuss's style of illustration, and that really does a lot for it. But the thing that falls short for me is, I don't think there's anything wrong with the story of The Grinch. Just for me, I wish it was more. I can't think of an exact thing I wouldn't say I dislike, but I wish was better. But I don't. There's something about it to me that I feel like it's lacking, and I don't.
Yeah.
Story-wise, I don't know. I guess I wish there was more. I feel like there was. I mean, it's a short. It was originally a children's drawing. Not what do you call it? A picture book.
A picture book.
Yeah. So but I wish the town was more involved. Like the Whoville. I mean, no, not like whatever they're called. The people important here's a Who. But then again, that was a whole movie. Yeah, Who's. There was they had plenty of time to make that, and that's a whole movie. It's 20 minutes, and it's exactly what the book had. I completely get that, and we get what I kind of wanted in the Grinch, the most recent one. But to me, Home Alone's just gonna have to take it here. But I can't even stress enough how there really isn't anything wrong with the Grinch. I think it's amazing, but you got to make a decision someday.
No, yeah, I respect that for sure.
All right, next we have Home Alone 2 versus Rudolph, and I feel like I could talk about this all night. They're so different, but honestly, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer means a lot to me because I feel like the stop motion isn't very much used in actual films and everything because it takes a lot more work, and it's not an easy job. There's so many quicker ways to do animation now, and this was back then, so it's a whole different story then. But I really respect any story that chooses to do stop motion. That's why I love Wallace and Gromit. It's already amazing, but the fact that they did it that way, I have a lot of respect for that. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, to me, is just very cozy. You know, I wouldn't say I love. Honestly, the worst part of it to me is probably Rudolph, but I don't dislike him. I just have a very neutral opinion about him. But I love the characters, and there's some great humor in the movie that's like funny to me that may not actually be funny. Like when like I forget his name, but like the climber guy, like
Yukon Cornelius.
yeah, when he keeps licking the ground, he goes salt.
Oh, that's one of my favorite parts.
Oh wait, no, he goes nothing.
Yeah, that's
That to me, like I don't even know if that's funny, but it's funny to me, and it's great, and I want more of that. And Home Alone 2, I feel like, you know, I feel like I've just, since like the rest of my family and everything's loved it, I feel like I was gonna love it no matter what, and it's just become so like I feel like it just reminds me of like my life, and that's why it's at the complete bottom. It's my least favorite movie. No, I'm joking, but in the sense that it's weird, I can't really, I don't know, like both Home Alones, it's hard to compare it, but I feel like I have an actual true opinion of like what truly Rudolph is, and I absolutely love the style, love the stop motion. This was a really hard decision for me, but I think Rudolph's gonna have to take the win here.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you summed it up really well. I pretty much agree with everything you said about Rudolph, except for the part about being neutral towards him. I definitely am on the side of loving him. Like I said, Home Alone 2 is a great movie and deserves all the love it gets, but I think it falls up short against Rudolph. When you talked about the characters, they just all started coming to mind, like Hermie and Yukon Cornelius and the Abominable Snowman, even like Clarice and like the Snowman narrator.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like feed him to me with a spoon.
Oh, I don't even need a spoon. I'll use my bare hands.
Shove them in my mouth.
Sorry. I have issues.
Are we still recording here?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Why?
Nothing.
Wait, what?
No, that was all part of the thing.
Oh well, so is this. Wow, you know, Josh, I really respect your finale being both being both the animated specials that are the most known. I mean, I respect that a lot. You know,
here's why I'm wrong.
No, I respect your opinion 100%. We both have Home Alone in the final. Oh wait, no, never mind.
We both have Rudolph.
We both have Rudolph in the final, and you know, this video is already really, really long, so I'm just gonna have to make a gut decision here. And you know, I said previously that I think I like Home Alone 2 a little bit more than Home Alone, the first one. But if not, they're like equal to me. So if it beats Home Alone 2, to me, it beats 1. Rudolph is my favorite Christmas movie to watch, clearly from this. I can't wait to see your finale.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what we picked, whether it be the Grinch, Home Alone, or Rudolph, there's no wrong answer. I think any of them would be right.
I mean, let's be honest, the fact that the Grinch, any form, has made it this far is just kind of disrespectful, but sure, yeah, you can't be wrong.
Yeah, actually, can I do the bracket over again and do it right this time?
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing this joke that it's actually good. I don't get it.
Okay, so my updated final is Christmas Chronicles versus Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with the Polar Express.
I have the same final. No, come on, let's hear what you got to say.
Alright. I'm not gonna spend really any time talking about it because I've already talked about the two. it's fitting that these are my two finalists because these were the two most important to me growing up. At the end of the day, I'm gonna go with my heart and my gut and my yoink, and the original Grinch is my favorite Christmas movie ever.
Mm. You know, I had a feeling it was gonna win the thing. I really thought it was gonna win it. You know, I completely respect it. I mean, what can I say? It's a great short. You know, not even a short. I wouldn't even call it. It's amazing. It's an amazing animation. And that's going to end it there. It's funny how majority of Christmas movies are live action, and both of our finales were very unique animated things.
Yeah.
Really interesting. This was a blast, Josh. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It really brought me into the season, made me appreciate all these movies that rating them against each other. You don't really do that. You just watch them and you just love them. But like, there are really some great movies. No matter if, like, I would still think a lot of my favorite movies that are Christmas movies would be great movies if they weren't Christmas. Like, just because they're Christmas is not the only reason why I watch them.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And with that, I think this is going to be the end of it here. Is there anything you'd like to say, Josh?
I'd like to thank you for having me. As always, I had a blast. I'd love to do it again. I love brackets, so I think this was a great format. And in closing, if anyone disagrees with my final pick, then I have 3 words for you. Slink, slank, slunk.
Wise words from a green man. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely see you in the new one, hopefully.
Yeah, if you
Yoinky.
come out with another one.
Merry Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, then I don't know why you watched this video to the end. See ya.